So here we discuss about the environmental studies. The topic is ecosystem. So in this ecosystem, ecology is the branch of ecosystem. In this ecology subject, we deals with living organisms. Non-living organisms means abiotic components, and the interaction between the living organisms and non-living organisms in the environment. So each living component interacts with the non-living, that means abiotic components. The ecology subject was introduced by the Ernst Haeckel, environmental scientist. So first, the definition of ecosystem is everything that surrounding us is called ecosystem. That means in this ecosystem, the interaction between among living organisms and the interaction between living and non-living organisms. Okay, the interaction means maybe friendly nature or enemy nature or understanding. That means so all interactions are there in the living and non-living things. So ecosystem is the basic functional unit of ecology. The term ecosystem is coined from a Greek word meaning study of home. So everything that surrounding us is called ecosystem. Here animals can't synthesize their food directly but depends upon the plants either directly or indirectly. Types of ecosystem. So based on the biosphere, based on the landscape, ecosystems are the two types: natural ecosystems and the artificial anthropogenic ecosystems. Natural ecosystems example, two varieties of natural ecosystems are there: terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystem example, grassland, forest and desert ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystems, the example, fresh water and marine water. Fresh water, again two varieties are there: lentic ecosystem and lotic ecosystem. So lentic ecosystems means lentic means the running water ecosystem. Lotic means standing water, pond, lake ecosystem. Marine ecosystem example, seas and oceans, estuaries. Here artificial ecosystems example, cropland and gardens. And next, the important topic is the structure or component of an ecosystem. In this structure, we study about the biotic and abiotic components of the ecosystem. First of all, biotic components, three varieties are there. First one is the producer, second one is the consumer, third one is the decomposers. Okay. So first coming to the producer. Here producers are nothing but self-nourishing organisms are giving food, give food. Example, all greeny plants, algae varieties and some micro fungi like that. So these self-nourishing organisms give food to the herbivores. Okay, herbivores are the primary consumers. Herbivores are key industrial animals. These herbivores are vegetarians, completely depends upon the producer. Okay, second one is the secondary consumers are primary carnivores. These depends upon the herbivores. Primary carnivores example, frog, cat, snake, fox, etc. Next, tertiary consumers are secondary carnivores, nothing but meat eaters. These tertiary consumers are completely depends upon the secondary consumer or primary carnivores. Example, lion, tiger and etc. Next, third one, decomposers. Okay, so decomposers decompose the dead organic body into the inorganic nutrients. Example, microorganism, bacteria and fungi. So organic compounds, carbohydrate, lipids, proteins are converted into the nitrogen and the oxygen. Next, abiotic components. Example, physical components and chemical compounds. Physical compounds example, air, water, soil, sunlight, etc. Chemical components example, proteins, lipids, carbohydrates, etc. And next, functions of the ecosystem. two functions are there in an ecosystem, primary function and secondary function. The primary function of all ecosystem is manufacture of starch, nothing but carbohydrates through the photosynthesis activity. Secondary function in an ecosystem is distribution of energy in the form of food to all consumers. Okay, and next, these are the some other functions in an ecosystem and very important: energy flow and nutrient flow, food chain, food web, and ecological pyramids, nothing but food pyramids. Okay, so energy flow and in an ecosystem is very important function. In this, energy flow is the unidirectional and from producers to the herbivorous to the primary carnivorous and secondary carnivorous. Okay, so in this energy flow, two physical laws are involved: first law of thermodynamics and the second law of thermodynamics. First law of thermodynamics is defined as energy is not created, neither destroyed. Okay, second law of thermodynamics, it states that whenever energy is transformed, there is a loss of energy through the release of heat. So these two, thermodynamic first law and second law, are involved. Okay, I mean applicable to the energy flow in an ecosystem. Nutrients flow. Okay, so here nutrient flow is the cyclic process. In this cyclic process, nutrients, the producers take nutrients from the soil. Okay, so then nutrients from producers to the herbivorous, to the primary carnivorous and to the secondary carnivorous. At any these stages, when body is dead, from dead body the organic is converted into inorganic nutrients, again entered into the soil. Okay, from soil to the plants. So nutrient flow in an ecosystem is the cyclic process. Okay, so here macronutrients and micronutrients are there, and examples are also given to the macro and micronutrients. Okay, and hydrological cycle, movement of water in a cyclic manner is known as hydrological cycle. Okay, carbon cycle, here the organic compounds, carbohydrates, proteins, fats and amino acids. Carbon is present in the atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. The CO2 is taken by the greeny plants. Okay, and for the photosynthetic activity, and CO2 is and give to the oxygen. So this is the nitrogen cycle, nitrification and denitrification, phosphorus cycle, and this is a very important topic in the ecosystem, that is the food chain. Okay, the sequence of eating and being eaten in an ecosystem is called food chain. Transfer of food energy from plants to through a series of organisms is called food chain. Okay, so classification of food chain, two varieties are there: grazing food chain and detritus food chain. Before going to the classification, these are the examples of the food chain. The first one is the grassland ecosystem food chain example. Producers are grass, herbivorous is grasshopper, primary carnivorous is mouse, secondary carnivorous is owl. Okay, and this is the second example of food chain in an grassland ecosystem. So this is the food chain in a pond. So here trophic levels are discussed. Okay, in an ecosystem all producers are under the category of trophic level 1. All herbivores are come to under the category of herbivorous, and T3 belongs to primary carnivorous, T4 belongs to the secondary carnivores. At last, at apex level, T5 belongs to tertiary carnivorous. In an ecosystem, maximum T4 or T5 trophic levels are there. In an rich ecosystem, T5 trophic levels are there. So this is the classification of the food chain: grazing food chain and detritus food chain. Grazing food chain starts with the producers and going to the sequence: herbivorous, primary, secondary, carnivorous, in the tertiary. Detritus food chain starts with the dead body, dead organic body. Okay, and this is the food web. The network structure of food chain is called food web. Okay, so here for an living organism, number of options of foods are available for one organism, and one organism is eaten by the number of organisms. Okay, interlocking network structure of food chain is called food web. This is the example of food web in a forest. So differences between the food chain and food web, and significance of food chain and food web. These are 4 points are there. Food chain, food web play a very important role in any ecosystem. Okay, cycling takes place through them. They maintain and regulate the population size of different trophic levels, help in maintaining ecological balance. Okay, they have the property of biomagnification. The non-biodegradable materials keep on passing from one trophic level to the another trophic level. At each successive trophic level, the concentration going on increasing. This process is known as biomagnification. Ecological pyramids. The graphical representation of the detailed note about the one ecosystem in graphical representation is called ecological pyramid. In this ecological pyramid, the base is about to the producers, and the second one is about the herbivorous, third one is about to the primary carnivorous, secondary carnivorous. At apex level deals with the tertiary carnivorous. Okay, so this is the ecological pyramid of number. At base level, producers, okay, 1 lakh number of grasses are there, and next level herbivorous means rabbits, number 30, and apex level, okay, primary carnivorous is fox, okay, in 1 number. So the number is decreasing from herbivorous to the primary carnivorous. So this is the upright pyramid of ecological pyramid of number. Upright pyramid example is the grassland ecosystem. And this is the second one, ecological pyramid of energy or energy pyramid. Energy pyramid is always unidirectional, always upright pyramid. From producers to the herbivorous, only 10% of energy is transferred. From herbivorous to the primary carnivorous, 10% energy is transferred. So from one form to the another form, only 10% energy is transformed. See the graphical representation. At producers level 0.65, okay, at herbivorous level 0.160, at primary carnivorous level 0.041, at secondary carnivorous level 0.01, finally at detrivorous level 0.372. So energy is decreasing. So always upright pyramid is there. And this is the third one, ecological pyramid of biomass. In this biomass we consider wet biomass or dry biomass. So usually we consider the dry biomass of the organisms. At base level, the biomass of oak tree is there. At herbivorous level, caterpillar biomass is there. At primary carnivorous level, blue tit biomass is there. At secondary carnivorous level, sparrowhawk biomass. So the biomass body weight is in decreasing. So this is the upright pyramid example. Okay. And next topic is the ecological succession. Ecological succession means one community, okay, it changes to the another community when time is going on. That means unstable community, it changes to the stable community. Okay, number of stages are there between the unstable community and the final stage, that means stable community. The number of stages between unstable and stable, that stages are called seral. Okay, series or seral. So these are the stages of ecological succession. Pioneer community, the first group of organisms which establish their community in the area is called pioneer community, and these are the intermediate stages, nothing but series or seral stage. The various developmental stages of community is called series. Okay, and these are the types of ecological succession. Primary succession, second one, secondary succession. In primary succession involves the gradual establishment of biotic communities on a lifeless ground. That means, okay, before there is no living organism is there at that place. Example, hydroch or hydrosphere. Establishment starts in a watery area like pond and lake. Second example, xeros or xerosphere. So establishment takes place in dry area like desert and rock. Okay. Second one is the secondary succession. It involves the establishment of biotic communities in area where some type of biotic communities is already present. Okay, thank you.